Every society draws lines. Some are legal, some are moral, and some are political. But the most decisive line, according to political theorist Carl Schmitt, is the line between friend and enemy, and that has taken its hold in the American populace today. Let's look into it.
Variance in values and in cultures can come together and debate things and work out all of their differences through an exchange of ideas is on its face a fantasy. Schmitt points out that any political belief that would threaten the existence of a group is, by its definition, non-negotiable for that group. And Schmitt believes that these kind of beliefs being held by groups is very common. It happens all the time.
Schmitt argued that politics is not primarily about laws, debates, or elections. It's about group identity. A political community defines itself by identifying who belongs and who doesn't. Friends are those who share a collective way of life or destiny. Enemies are those who fundamentally threaten that way of life and create an existential problem for which they cannot resolve. This isn't about personal dislike. You can respect your political enemy or even admire them, but at the political level, an enemy represents an existential challenge. If that challenge grows, politics may escalate toward open conflict. It seems as if one side of the aisle has been using this distinction for quite some time in our country, and the other side may have just recently taken it up. What we are moving toward, hopefully, is not the open conflict that Schmitt imagined.
Achieve this by putting on a fantasy, a show of civil debates and disagreements where people in nice suits stand up in front of TV cameras, delivering speeches about how differences will be overcome and consensus will be reached. But Schmitt believes you cannot remove the politics from the political, and in the end, this is all just window dressing for the continued battle between friend and enemy that goes on behind the scenes.
Think about how nations rally during war or cultural movements unite when there is a sense of a shared threat. Does this current political moment seem like there is an increased sense of shared threat on the right? I would argue it definitely does. The friend-enemy distinction simplifies a complex worldview into a survival choice. Who stands with us and who stands against us?
It didn't matter if they were on board with 99% of the feminist movement, if they were unwilling to protect the core story that had become important and fundamental to the identity of the group, they were now the enemy.
Understanding this distinction doesn't mean that we need to embrace open hostility, but it does mean recognizing the boundaries that give a community shape. Without clear lines, identity dissolves. With them, people know who they truly are, and that leads to the flourishing society that they believe they can accomplish if they win this existential conflict.